welcome to my beginner Pilates and physical therapy based core workout with a exercise ball, one of my favorite tools. I also am going to use a chair for stability and support. So we are going to start sitting on the ball. Now, for safety, whenever I have someone doing this for the first time, you sit on the ball and you hold on to a chair or a couch or something sturdy, okay? So you can stay like that, but I'm going to face this way for demonstration purposes. So we're gonna start, I'm gonna put my hands up like this. You can have your hands down on your side, but I'm gonna do this for demonstration purposes again. We're gonna roll the ball forward and back, working through our pelvis and hips. So the right height of the ball when you're sitting on it, you should be able to get about like a 90-degree angle at the knees and the hips. So if you're really sitting down low, you probably need a taller ball with a bigger diameter. If it's, you're way up there and it's hard to sit on, then you might need a smaller ball. So when I roll the ball backwards, I'm tilting my pelvis forward. So I'm going to an anterior pelvic tilt and increase lumbar extension. When I roll the ball forward, I'm going to tuck my tailbone underneath me. I'm going into a posterior pelvic tilt and lumbar flexion. So on the ball is how I teach people how to kind of find their pelvic position, whether it's a posterior pelvic tilt or finding that middle. So what I do is I have you go back and forth, find the middle here. That's pelvic neutral, where you have a little curve in your low back still. Your lower abdominals are pulled in, okay? And this is ideally where I want everyone to be, if possible. And what we're gonna do, so again, holding onto the chair, if you're sitting next to it as needed, but we're gonna march. So we're gonna challenge that core stability as we take one foot at a time off our stable support. I'm sitting up tall into my trunk here. And I always have my Pilates breathing going. In through your nose, out through my mouth. Good, a few more. And let's go ahead and rest. Shake that out. So I'm gonna face you for this one. I love doing some sideways lateral motion too, to release the hips a little bit. Another one in between sets here is circles. Okay, so really getting some motion through the pelvis and through the hips if you have some tight hips, and through the back. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So let's do the roll the ball forward, roll the ball back, posterior pelvic tilt, anterior pelvic tilt, and then go ahead and find that middle pelvic position. Lower abs pulled in, zip up from pubic bone all the way to rib cage, or belly button, and then rib cage down. And actually, I lied, we're gonna do arms. So if you were holding onto the chair, you can challenge yourself a little bit. Hold on. Every other set, or take it away. Now we're gonna add arms and legs. So again, you can hold onto that chair. You can put two chairs on either side if you need to. That way you can hold on as needed, okay? Face you. So we're lifting opposite arm as leg now. So this is what I mean by holding onto the chair. Okay? Let's keep on going. I'm Going to the side so you guys can see my posture, my pelvic position. My ball honestly is probably a little low. It's a little deflated. Now that it didn't seem like it earlier, but now I'm looking a little further, it looks a little deflated. Every time I lift up my opposite arm as leg, I'm thinking about how my core is keeping me on this ball, because that's what we're working today, right? So I'm pulling that in tighter, my lower abdominals every time. Good. Go ahead and shake that out. Circles and circles. Okay. So we are going to the floor with the ball still. Ball gets to come with, okay? Here I'm going to, now that we just practiced finding our pelvic neutral on the ball, we're going to practice on the floor. So you're going to rock your pelvis back and forth. So we have a posterior pelvic tilt, anterior pelvic tilt where we have that lumbar extension, posterior pelvic tilt where we flatten our back. So I rock back and forth until I find that middle position, which is my pelvic neutral and spine neutral position. I can fit a hand under my back still, but my belly button or lower muscles, transverse abdominis, are engaged. I'm gonna place my hands on the ball. I'm gonna inhale through my nose. I'm gonna exhale through my mouth as I press down on the ball with straight elbows. So I press my palms towards my knees into the ball and release. So you are gonna get more rectus abdominis, these six-pack muscles. So you will get to kind of think about that core connection from ribs to hip bones, okay? But still thinking about the lower abdominals pulling in too. Inhale and exhale, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and inhale and exhale. Sometimes people have trouble feeling their core muscles turning on. Find that this is helpful. Exhale, press, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, and exhale. Okay, so maintaining that core connection that we just learned and practiced, we're going to reach the ball overhead, exhale, inhale as you bring it back up to the ceiling, and exhale as you reach it overhead. Only go as far as you can before your ribs want to flare and your back wants to arch excessively. Inhale to return. Exhale. I have my core connection the whole time. My belly, my lower abs are pulled in, my ribs are down. Inhale and exhale. We're gonna add on with this one, make it a little bit more challenging. Take your one leg into a tabletop position, okay? So you're gonna do the same thing, reaching that arm or those arms and that ball overhead. But we have a little less support on the ground, therefore a little bit more requirements from the core to maintain our pelvis and back in a good position. So more core stability is required, especially as we reach that ball overhead. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And exhale. We turn the ball, switch legs. Other leg is at tabletop. That's a 90-90 at the hip and the knees, our tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and place that leg down. So we're gonna get a little bit of our obliques working now. So those side abs. So we're gonna rock the ball side to side with our arms. So we're bringing the balls from one side of our body to the other. And what we're gonna do is you're keeping your pelvis, your trunk stable for a couple more, but then as you rock the ball to one side, you rock your knees to the other side. Or as you bring the ball to one side, you bring your knees to the other side. So I'm thinking about exhaling. Right here is what I'm feeling. Those side abs right there. I'm thinking about wringing out a wet dishcloth every time. Really feeling ribs to hip bones tightening down here. Exhale as you lower the ball and lower the knees. Inhale as you return everything to center. Exhale as you lower the ball, lower the knees. Inhale as you return to center. If this is too much, too challenging, just decrease the amount that you're lowering those hips and knees. Last one. Go ahead and return to the center. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're gonna finish with just the little baby crunches. So make sure there's some space between your chin and your chest. Make sure your neck muscles are relaxed as much as possible. Every time I am crunching up, lifting up my upper back off the ground, I'm thinking about flattening my lower abs still down into the ground, okay? So thinking about everything pulling together, flattening down, okay? Try to not allow any coning if you are postpartum, have some diastasis recti and whatnot. Or in general, that's how you do a crunch, where you kind of bulge out your abdominal muscles. We want to think about exhaling and flattening our belly muscles as much as we can. Let's do 2 more. Go ahead and relax that. We are almost done. We are going to do a little bit more oblique work, going to the diagonal. So ball is to my opposite, or my left knee. Can be on the side of your right knee. We're going to switch sides, so it doesn't matter. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch sides. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Go ahead and lower that down. We're gonna finish on all fours. Okay, so other parts of our core are our multifidi and our low back, and which are parts of the core that not everyone remembers to strengthen. So what we're gonna do, I'm just extending my leg, reaching out with my toe. You can stay here. We're gonna add opposite arm as leg. Okay. I love doing spinal balance work without the ball, but the ball is really nice for someone who's a little bit more beginner and a little weaker in the core. You can add on to this just a little bit if you want, or you can stay with your big toe or your toes on the ground. I'm now going to elevate my leg off the ground. I'm also squeezing through my butt muscle every time I'm lifting. But lifting that arm up with and that leg, I'm gonna get some of these core muscles in my back turned on as well. My extensors in my back as well are turning on. We're going to finish with a hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna finish with a hold to the other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.